So it will take some time to make the services up, right? That's what we are saying. So we are just waiting for 2-3 minutes, then the services will be up. You need not to worry, because if you can go to services, okay? You can click on services, and then if your services are running, then it is fine. So it will take some time, around 5 minutes of time. So click on I, okay? So Informatica will come, so it should be in running state. So this we have learned, right? So if you go to Oracle, ORA, if you type, all these 4 services should be in running status. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's open the Informatica folder, training folder for us. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you see, we have created 2 mappings. So automatically, whatever the mapping that you have opened last time, it will be open. Okay. Here we are loading the data from file to table. Okay, these are the different mappings we have. So here, if you see, we have, this is source. Now you have learned about the source, right? How to import the source, how to import the structure of the source, and how to make use of the source to read the data from even file or table like that.
Yeah.
Now this is target. So you have learned about this target as well. Okay. So this is update strategy. Update strategy is nothing but whenever you now you are loading the data into your target, right? Now you are telling like it will go and insert by default. Okay. Okay. It is inserting it by using update strategy. You can tell whether that record should be updated or whether that record should be deleted or inserted or rejected. So anything you can mention here. So by using this transformation, you can mention whether it is an update or insert or delete, like what you want to do with that particular record. So by default here, everything is going as an insert, right? Because one record is, for example, now in our employee file, we have around 296 records, right? So if you see, all of those records were loaded into employees table, right? So let me just okay. Now all of this data was inserted into this table, right? So it is an insert only, right? So if you want to make here, how many records we have? We have 296 records, sir. So here triple because this is the other table. We did not use truncate and load. For April 24, we have used truncate and load before loading it. So you see only 296 records here. Yeah. So before loading the data into the table, we can truncate it and we can load the data as well. So that's what we have done for April 24. Whereas for April 21, we did not enable that option. That's the reason data was inserted again and again into that particular table. So you can refer to the previous session recording. So you'll get an idea about truncating of the table, how to enable that in the session. Okay. So here you have 296 records. All of these are inserts only. By using update strategy, you can tell each and every record whether it should be an insert or whether it should be an update or delete. So all of those things you can mention by using update strategy. You have expression transformation. Here you can create the different ports. Okay. For example, you are getting first name, last name. So you can combine both of them. First name plus last name. You can name it as a full name. Okay. This is the if you want to create any more extra columns, then you can go for expression transformation. Filter, it's a kind of where clause in your SQL. Now you have learned about where clause, right? Whenever you are putting some condition in the where clause, the data will get filtered out, right? So it will serve the same purpose here in Informatica. Aggregator is kind of group by in your SQL. You have learned about group by, right? So you are grouping the data by using some columns. So that kind of purpose will be done by aggregator in Informatica. Okay. This is lookup transformation. Lookup is nothing but now we have learned about employee and department, right? We have done the join, right? Employee department on top of department ID, we have joined, and then we are getting the data from the right table. So it will work as a left join. Okay. Lookup will work as a left join. So here, this sequence transform SQ transformation is there, and then you will be looking upon some other table here, for example. Okay. Then, for example, employee 21 is there here in our Oracle database. If you are looking upon that one, then it will act as a left table. This lookup will act as a right table. So indirectly, it will do a left join. Okay. This is sequence generator. So for each and every record, it will give a sequence number. That's the reason if you see here 1, 2, 3, like that it is coming. Okay.
Yeah.
So like that, these are different transformations. We have stored proc transformation. If you want to run any stored procs and external procedures, and here some custom transformation if you want to create anything, some joiner transformation, whatever you're doing, inner join, left join, and everything will happen here. Okay. Normalizer, if you want to convert the normalize the data, ranking, these are like some window functions will be there. Row number, rank, and stack, all of those things will be there. That was not covered as of now. I'll cover it as part of the sequel. So you'll get to know what are those different options. Okay. Like this, we will be having different transformations. So this is router. Router is kind of filter only, but here you can mention multiple conditions. Okay. And this is sorter transformation, kind of an order by in your SQL. Transaction control transformation is like if you want to load the data into, if you want to commit the data in between, for example, you have around 20 records. You want to commit the data after 10 records and then after 10 records into another table or file, then you can do with this transformation. So you know about source qualifier transformation. So this is the source qualifier transformation. And again, these are for your XML source qualifier application. So kind of source qualifier only, but this is specific to application. XML, this is specific to application. And some MQ source and AMG will be there. So mostly we'll be using update strategy, expression, filter, aggregator, lookup, okay. And then this sequence generator, joiner sometimes you will use, rank also you will use it less. Router you will use most of the time. Sorter also you will use it. And then SQ transformation. Obviously, whenever you are creating any source, you need to have the SQ transformation. Then only you will be able to read it from the source. So these are the mostly used transformation. This SQ transformation, router, and here whatever is there from here. Okay, update strategy, expression, filter, aggregator, lookup, and then sequence generator. Okay.
Yeah.
Now here what we have now in this, if you see, you have first name plus last name, right?
Yeah.
First name, last name, middle name is there. So what we do is let's try to see how to use expression transformation. So our requirement is, okay, what is our requirement? You have to
Join first name, last name, and middle name.
yes, you have to calculate full name or you have to generate full name. Okay.
Yeah.
And what you have to do, for example, one more thing, salary is there. Okay. Okay. First, let's generate the full name. Then we can go to the next set of requirements. Okay. So we have to generate the full name means what we have to do? We have to combine first name plus last name and middle name. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how to do that? Let's see. So how to create the mapping?
Mapping.
So let's load from file to file only. Okay. Let's load from file to file. So here what we are doing, we are reading from file only. Here we are loading the data into
Oracle.
Oracle table. So do we have any mapping where we are loading the data into file? So if you see this, is loading the data from file employees to target employee file. Right click it. Okay. Go to this mapping, select it, right click on it, and then open. So here you are reading the data from file and you are loading the data into a file. Here, if you see the target, it is showing it as flat file. Okay. That means you are loading the data into a file. Okay. Now it is the same, right? So what you have to do, everything is same. Just what you need to do, you have to add some transformation here where you will add first name, last name, and middle name. Here you will add the transformation. And you have to add one more column into your target where you will store the full name as well, along with first name, last name, middle name. Okay?
Yeah.
Clear? So this is the mapping. And now you know how to create the mapping. You will go to mappings tab from the menu and then you will create it. Okay? Then once you give it, you will your mapping, it will ask you for the mapping name. Okay, what we are doing? Okay, file employee to target employee. Okay,
transform.
target employee file, and let's add the transformation. What transformation we are using? Expression transformation.
Expression.
Okay, then
Yeah.
press OK. Now what we have to do? We have to read the data from a file, right? So this is the mapping that was created here. Nothing is there as of now. So we have to read the data from source, because as it is an ETL, what we will do as part of ETL, we'll fetch the data from source and load the data into target. And if required, we will do any transformations in between. So what we need right now?
Source.
We need source. Okay, so we have sources here. Okay,
Yeah.
so we have already imported the file. So if you want to see the structure of the file, you can go to source analyzer. So this is employees, right? This is employees underscore ff. Okay, here it is there. So you have all the columns, whatever are there. Okay, whatever is required for you, all the columns are available. So you have to drag and drop that particular source. So when you drag it, automatically SQ transformation will come along with the source, because by using SQ transformation only, you will be able to read the data from here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's do something. Okay. As of now, what we are doing, we are reading entire data from source, right? Now let's do something. What we need only first name, last name, middle name. And along with that, let's have title. Okay. Let's remove birth date, hire date, email address. All of these columns, let's remove. Okay. Because we don't want to read the data, for example, because as of now we are reading everything. So instead of doing the same way every time, let's try to remove these columns, because I don't want to read this data from my source. Okay. So what I'm doing, just select all of these, or you can just select this one, and then you can cut it, or you can delete the port. What we call these as ports. Okay, ports are nothing but columns. Okay, so here I am doing it one by one, but as all the columns are available here only, I can select all of them and then can delete it. So I want to read only these columns. Okay.
Yeah.
Clear? Now what happened here? You have removed those columns. So the link for all those columns were removed, because as the columns are not there, you can't link it. So the link was gone, right?
Yeah.
So from here, you can delete anything or you can add anything. But here you can't do anything, because this is structure of your source. Okay. So now you
what is
have, yeah,
we deleted, right?
we
Now
deleted from
can
here. Yeah, we
now can
deleted
we
from source qualifier. No. Can you come again?
add here right now if you want to add gender like marital status if you want to.
So, okay, you want to add marital status. What you can do, just select this. You can drag and drop like this. It is
Let's move.
coming. All right.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
do it in that way. Okay. Then remove it again when you are. So by default, when you are creating it, it will give all the columns and it will link all of those columns. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you have chosen only these columns as part of your source. Okay. Now what you have to do, you have to combine all of these three. So how we can do, which transformation we have to use? Expression transformation is the one which will allow us to combine the columns or do any modifications to the data. Okay. Here you can add any ports. Okay. In expression transformation, you can apply any logic, whatever you want. So how to add expression transformation here? Go here. Okay. Select expression transformation and click it here. So expression transformation will come. Okay. So what you want all these columns into expression transformation, right?
Yeah.
So select all of these. Okay. Click, just put mouse over here. Okay. Place your mouse over here. Okay. And drag and drop into your expression transformation. All of these okay. Okay. Now double click on expression transformation. Here you can rename it. What we are doing here, expression transformation, you are giving it as exp, and then what is the purpose of your expression transformation here?
Finding first name.
Yeah, so you are generating full name. So I'm giving expression full name. That means as part of this expression, I'm creating a column called full name. Okay. I'm just giving the meaningful name. Okay. Now go to the next tab, that is ports. So you have all the columns you have, and whatever the columns that you want to add, those columns are also available to you, right? Now to how to add the port here, I have to add a port kind of column I need, right? Port is nothing but a column. Okay, column or a field, you can say. So here you need full name. How to add the full name here?
Expression.
Here you have this. Okay, add a new port to this transformation. Okay.
Yeah.
By using this, you can add extra port. By using this, you can delete it port. That's what we did in the SQ transformation, right?
Yeah.
And by using this, you can copy a port. Okay. Once you copy it, you can paste it. And this is to move the selected transformation up. This is up, right? Up arrow.
Yeah.
Move it up. Down arrow, you can move it down. Why this was disabled now? Because you have selected the first name, right? So selected the first name. Up. This is the first one. So you can't move it further up. This is only the first one. For example, I'm selecting title. Now both are enabled because there is a chance for us to move it to up or down. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is about all these options. Now what we have to do, let's go ahead and create a port. So let's add it at the end. So wherever, for example, you are selecting here, middle name, okay? And then if you are clicking on add port, it will add immediately after middle name. See here. Wherever you want to add the field, you can just select that particular port, and after that your port will be added. Okay.
Yes.
And your new field name will be full name. Okay. And string, and how many characters will be there, just give it 100. Okay. And are we getting this column as part of the input? What is your input here? Your input is SQ transformation, right? Because from SQ transformation only you are getting it, right?
Yeah.
What is your input to the expression transformation? Sorry, for expression transformation, your input is coming from SQ transformation, right?
Yeah.
So are you getting this full name? So here, this is input, this is output. So here, I'll tell you the options here again, okay? This is the port name. Port name is like your column, right? So whatever the name is there, so that name will come. And data type is what type of data you are storing in that column. So that will automatically come, whatever it is there, because you are dragging it from here to here, the data type will come. Here, the length of the data that you want to store, okay? Scale is like it will be there for only decimals numbers. If you want to have any decimal values, it will come. Okay.
Yeah.
So I is nothing but input. O is nothing but output. V is nothing but variable. So here we are not creating a variable, right? It is also kind of one column for us. We want to store it in the target table, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a variable. Input is whatever is coming from input transformation. For your expression, input transformation is SQ. Are we getting full name from input here?
Yeah.
We are not getting full name from input, right? Full name port is not. You have first name, last name, middle name, but full name is not there, right? So it is not coming from input, but you want it in the output. Yes. So that's the reason you are marking it as an output, because you want to generate this column and load the data into file with this name, right? That means you want it in the output. That means you are taking it as an output here. Okay. Input, when for all of these, input is all automatically selected because all of these are coming from your SQ transformation, and you want all of them in the output as well. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the reason everything was selected. Here we want full name in the output. That's the reason we have selected it. And it is not a variable. And here expression is there. So here, if it is coming from input, you want to consume it as it is. So it is not enabled because it is input. You want to just store it as it is. So it is not enabled because you are not applying any logic on top of it. So it is not input. We are generating here. So further it is saying like you can write some logic to it. That's when this expression tab will be enabled. Okay. Clear? If it is an input, it will not be enabled because you are consuming it as it is coming from input. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm removing this. Expression is enabled. So come here. Okay. Just click here. Click on this arrow mark. Okay. Then it will ask you to write some transformation. So what we have to do? We have ports. We have first name. Okay. First name is there. Place.
Last
Middle
name.
name is there. Place. Last name is there. Okay. Or you can go to functions. Okay. Functions, and then you have concat will be there. Okay. So here concat. So what it will do? Concat char1. So returns character1 concatenated with character2. What you can do here? Okay. You are concatenating, that means you are adding everything, right? So select this. Inside this, you have to give character1, character2. So you have to give these codes. What you want to concatenate?
First name, last
First
name.
name. So you have to give first name. So if you go to functions for character, for concatenation, what it is giving? Character1, comma, character2. So it will combine it. Here also, after the first port, you have to give comma. Now go to the ports, give middle name, and then comma. Okay. And then last name. Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
Now you can evaluate it. Okay. Before you evaluate the select refresh. Okay.
Right side at the top.
Yeah. Okay, it is not reading the data. Too many operands are there. It is fine. You can come back. Okay. Now here you can validate it if this logic is correct. Okay. First name, last name, too many arguments. Okay. It is expecting only 2 arguments. Okay. So go to function. Okay. If you remove last name. Okay. Let's see. Now if you validate it, it is saying like expression passed successfully. Okay. If you add the last name, what is happening? Let's see here. Now I just want to show you that error. What it is doing, validate. See here, too many operands. That means it is expecting the 2 input parameters. Just it will concatenate 2, not more than 1. Okay. That's the reason whenever you are adding more than 1 column here, this is giving error. This validate it. Okay. Expression passed successfully. That means it is valid. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's see, instead of adding this, let's do first name plus middle name, whether it will work. Then we can combine everything. Okay. Validate it. So it is saying like operand cannot be converted to number. So plus will work with, so plus will work in some cases. Here in SQL, it will work, but here in Informatica, if you are adding it as a place, it is not working because it is saying like both should be numbers only. Okay. In order to add them, it is saying like both should be numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see what we have in case if we have more than one. Do you have any transformation? Let's see. Okay, this is all functions. Okay, let's do one thing. Now we have concat function, right? So you can write concat. Okay, what we have first name. Okay, then
We have operators over there, right?
what
Operators.
operators? Yeah,
And the function we can use it.
let's see which one.
End function
And
yeah.
and is different. And
First,
is in between 2 different conditions. Okay.
yeah, we have plus operator.
No, plus operator you can't use. It is for numbers only. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is OR. So these things are used. For example, if you select not, okay, here it is not giving. So these are different completely. So these will work kind of an OR condition, not condition. You have learned it in SQL, right? And is like
Yeah.
on both the sides you have 2 conditions. If both are satisfied, then only it is kind of true, right?
Yeah.
R is nothing but any one of the conditions. So conditions should be there for you. Okay. But it won't combine. Okay. Now here we are combining first name, middle name. What we can do again? whatever the value is coming out of it, we can combine it with last name, right?
Yeah.
So what you can do, you can write one more concat here. For example, one more concat. So if you go to the end, so in this concat, this is the first statement or first port for you. And then you can add here last name. Okay. Now try to
Yeah.
validate it. It will be validated successfully because it is having only two ports, right? This is one and this is the other one. So we have to go with some alternate approach if it is not supporting. Okay.
Yeah.
So here your concat function is, it will concatenate only two values. First, what we are doing, we are concatenating first name, middle name, and then that value we are combining it with the last name by using another concat. Okay.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Now we have validated it. So every time you have to validate the expression so that you will come to know if it is valid or not. And then you can press OK. Okay. Now what came? Okay, here full okay. Full name is there. Okay. And you concatenated it. That logic is there. And then apply. Okay. And then press OK. So what happened here? You got full name here.
Full name.
Okay. So now
Yeah.
with this structure, we have to load the data into a file, correct?
Yeah.
So if you have to load the data into a file, do you have this any file with this structure, any target with this structure? So you have targets here, okay? You have these three targets, any of these three. So if you want to see the structure of these targets, what you have to do? You have to go to target analyzer.
Target analyzer.
And here you can see the structure of all your targets. So do you have structure, the same structure like full name and all of those columns? Do you have any target with the structure here?
No.
No. So what you have to do now if it is not there? If it
We
is
need
not
to
there,
know
what we have to do?
from the transformation view.
We have to create the target with this structure, right? As
Yeah.
it is not there, we have to create the target with this structure. How can we create it?
Right click.
Click on this expression transformation, right click it, create and add target. So what it will do? It will just create the target with the same structure. Okay. With this structure, it will create. So for this expression underscore full name, it is giving and it is creating it as an Oracle table. So if you want to change it to a file type, what do you have to do? You have to go to target
file.
analyzer. Here, expression underscore full name is there. You have to drag it to the target designer. Okay. Drag it to the target designer. Okay. Now you can double click on it. Your database type is Oracle. So what we have to do?
Flat.
We have to change it to flat file because we want to store the data into a file. And what we want to name it? It is employee underscore full name. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we want to call this one. Okay. Now you have all the columns. You can click on apply and then okay. Okay. Now if you go to mapping, it will automatically refer to this file type. So here, this is an target, right? So for a target, you can rename it. What you have to rename? So meaningful name you have to give target. Okay. And then it is a file. Which file? Employee file. What extra you have? Full name. Okay.
Yeah.
Giving this as the target name. Okay. And if you go to ports, you can see all the ports, whatever is coming from the input. So if you see here, all of these are input. There is no output. For target, output won't be checked because this is the final one, right? This is the final. After that, nothing will be there. After target, you don't push this anywhere. That's the reason output will be disabled. Only input will be checked for all of this. Okay.
Yeah.
Click on apply. Okay. Now in the same way, if you go to this source, okay, if you go to ports, this is just an output. You don't have any inputs to it, right? Because this is source, right? Nothing will come into source, right? From source only we'll pull everything. That's the reason input will be disabled and only output will be checked. Okay.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Now what we have to do as the next step?
We need to connect them.
Yes. So if you don't connect it, if you are pressing Control S, that means if you are saving it, it will say invalid.
Yeah.
Why it is invalid? Because it is saying like
Output.
mapping must have at least one loadable target. We have created the target, but we are not loading the data. We are not linking, means we are not pushing the data from here to here. If you link it, then only it is like you are pushing the data here. Okay.
Yeah.
So for example, I'm just dragging only first name. Will it be valid?
Yes.
Press Control S again, it will save it. So now it is saying like valid because at least one column data you are pushing, right? So end-to-end flow is there. That's the reason it is valid. It is based on your requirement that if you want to load the data only for one column or all the columns, you can do it. If you don't want, for if you are not linking all of the columns, it won't give error. But at least one thing you should load into the table. Okay. At least one column data you should push, then only it will be valid. So what we can do, if you want to link everything. Now I want to link last name. Okay. I want to link middle name. Here, just select it. Okay. Drag. Okay. Yeah. Middle name is there. Now you have to give it here. So as an alternative, everything in sequence. Full name, title, gender, department name, salary, everything is in sequence, right? So I can select all of these. So first select your full name, okay? And then press your shift tab and then click on the last port, marital status. So all of these will be selected. Now place your mouse here in the shaded area. From that, okay, left click your mouse and then drag and drop into the target and drop it onto the column to which you want to connect. Okay, full name you want to connect to full name, right? And all of them are in sequence. So all of those things will be connected. Okay. Now press Control S. Is it valid?
Yeah, it's right.
Yes, it is valid. Everything now we have created an end-to-end flow to generate full name from the given data. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you go to source files, let's see where the files are available. Okay. So here, source files, you have server, infoshed, source files, training. In training, you have employees.csv. From this, you have to read the data. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what is the next step? Now you have created the mapping. I want to run the data load. I want to load the data from this flat file to this table. Okay. How can I run it?
Target file and create SQL.
No. Why we need to create SQL? Because we want to load the data into a file. Is there any requirement to create an SQL? If you want to load the data into a table, then you need to create that table inside the Oracle database. But we want to load the data into one more file right here.
Yeah.
For file, do we need to create anything? When
No.
once you load it, you can just give the name. Okay, it will load it into that particular file. Okay.
Yeah.
So now these are appearing like very big, right? So if you want to see them in a simplified way, come here, click on this grayed area, right click, arrange all iconic. So everything will be showed in an icon way. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything will be displayed in iconic way. If you want to show them clearly, like expanded way, then you can click on arrange all. So everything will come like this. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm showing in an iconic way. Now I want to run this. What I have to do? Can I run directly from here?
Yeah.
How to run it from here to load the data from source to target?
What?
No, now we have created a mapping which will load the data from employees file to from employee underscore full name file. By using some transformation, you are generating full name in between. How can I load the data from here to here? How to run this mapping? I have created a mapping. how to run it, right? If it has to load the data
Workflow manager.
from workflow manager, yes. If you have to run the mapping, then you have to go to workflow manager. Okay, I opened the workflow manager and connecting to this repository. And then open the training folder or double click on it. Okay, now go to workflows. Already workflow underscore training batch 2 is there. Here, whatever the mappings that we have created earlier, for them we have created a session. Okay,
Target.
so by using session only, you can run the mapping. Okay, so now how to create the session for the new mapping that we have created? This is the new mapping. Okay, now how to create the session?
On the top right side, we
Yes, on
go
the
to
top
create
right
session.
side, if you see, there is a session task. Click on it and come here. Now your mouse pointer will change. See here, your mouse pointer changed. Click on this white space. So it will create a session. So for a session, a mapping should be linked. Okay. So it is asking to which mapping I should connect. So which mapping you should connect? You should connect to
Express.
target employee underscore expression. Now see here, S underscore is prefixed with the mapping name. This is the mapping name for us. If you want to rename it, you can rename it, but this is the meaningful name that it is giving. Okay. Now go to mapping section here. Okay, mapping tab. Here you have target sources, targets, and then transformations. Earlier you don't have any transformations. That's the reason it is not showing anything here. It's showing only sources and targets, right? Now you have transformation as well. Here it is showing the transformation. Okay. For example, if you see here, earlier mappings don't have any transformation. So double click on it, go to mapping. If you see here, only sources, this is there, targets, this is there. In transformations, anything is there? Nothing. You
No.
don't have anything here. Okay. But here we have an expression transformation. That's the reason you can see expression transformation is here. Okay.
Yeah.
For source, it is a file. File reader is nothing but you are reading the data from a file. What you need to give, you have to give the information from where you want to read the data. Okay. This is a source file directory. Okay. You have to go to source. Okay. SQ transformation. Once you select it, all the properties will be selected. Here properties tab is there. In the properties, go to source file directory. Source file directory, automatically it will be pointed to this. Okay. What is that path? It is your Informatica installation path. In Informatica installation, if you see here, Informatica installation, wherever you have installed, go to server, info shade. There you will have source files. Okay, so this is the folder it will refer to. Okay, source files. This is the folder it will refer to by default for the source file directory. And in that it is referring to source file name as employees.csv. But do we have employees.csv in this folder? No, we have it inside training. So you have to give training here because that path won't come. For example, okay, let me do employees.csv. Do we have it? Employees is okay. These things are there. Let's try. In this folder, it is checking for employees.csv in source files. We don't have it. Let's see if it is failing or okay. And then we can change the path. Now go to target. This is also file. So it is saying like file writer, go to properties. Okay. And then come down. Here it is saying like header option. So no header means what will happen?
No header will come like
Header
first
will not
last
come. It will directly paste the data. So if we have to give output field names as header, output field names means if you go to target, if you double click on it, whatever the field names, whatever the port names are there here, all those names will be displayed as a header. Okay. Now again you will have here PM target file directory. Target file directory is nothing but again in info shade you have target file. So it will refer to this path. Okay. Inside that, as part of our training, we are loading a data into this folder. Okay. Inside target files, we are loading the data into training folder. So what you have to do? It is referring to what is happening? It is referring to target files folder. After that, we are loading the data into training folder. Okay. So let's give training here slash. Okay. And what is the name of your file? What is the name you want to give here? Output file name,
Tag,
target
target full name.
employee full name dot txt. Okay, or dot
Yeah,
csv, anything you can give. And then click on apply. These are important. Output file directory, into which folder you want to load, what should be the file name. Okay,
yeah,
click on apply, press OK. Now what you have to do? You have to press Control X, then it will save it. So you see here, it was generated. It is saying like valid. Okay, and it is updated. How to run this session now?
start, right click and start task.
Right click and then start task. Now, as the monitor is not open, for the first time, it will automatically open it. So what it is saying, like it is failed. Why it is failed? Error
You cannot
opening
file.
the file. Which path it is referring? See here, training, Informatica installation server, source files. Inside source files, it is referring to employees.csv. Do we have any employees.csv inside the source files? We don't have it. For example, E, I'm just pressing on E. So this was highlighted, second this highlighted, only these three are there. Where we have employees files, I have it in
Training.
training. So what you have to do, you have to go to your workflow manager, open your session, go to mapping, go to your source because it is referring to source files like source, say like source file is not available. Here you have to give training slash. Okay. So you're saying like inside the source files directory, now to go to training. Inside that you have employees.csv. Click on apply, press OK, then control this. Okay. Now
Yeah,
right click on it, go to start task. Now open the monitor. See here it is running. So it is succeeded now. Okay. How
yeah.
you can see the stats on the below, you
See,
can go to source or target statistics. Here you can see how many records were read from the source, how many records were loaded into your target. Now go to your target files in target. So here go to info shade where we can see the target files where we are, what is the path that we have given in the session,
TGT files,
TGT files inside target files,
training.
training. So if you want to see the path here, it was generated target underscore employees underscore full name dot txt. Is it generated?
Yeah,
Where you have given the path? If you go to this session, if you go to mapping, if you go to target, here you have given the path. All right.
yeah,
Target employee directory, target employee full name. This is the path you have given. So here in this path, the file is generated. Just now it is generated if you see. And if you open it, you can see the data. So what happened here for full name is, it is coming as part of 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So guy is there, Gilbert R. So all
Gil-
of this, it is giving here. Okay.
yeah,
Guy R Gilbert. Got it?
yeah.